I'm going to work on binding and rigging these wings. They've already been have the joints created and parented into the hierarchy. I'll start by finding these joints there. I'm going to click open this group and then click open main. And I see deformation systems here, and if I shift click on that, that'll show me all my joints. And at the bottom here you can find these different wings. So I'll start by naming those joints. This is his left side, his left wing, so this will be wing 1L, and I can use my down arrow to go to the next one. Wing 2, down arrow, wing 3 underscore L, and finally wing 4 underscore L. On this side, wing 1 underscore R for right, wing 2, wing 3, and wing 4. Okay. Anytime you finish a step, it's a good idea to save it. Let's call this wings 2 and named. Okay. So now I need to add those as influences to the bind skin, and you know, I'm really only going to use this one, this one, this one. This end joint isn't, that one at the tip isn't really going to, you know, change anything, so I might leave that off. So I'll select these guys and I'll control click these and shift select the surface, and from the skin menu I'm going to do add influence options. Yeah, I'm going to lock weights and have the default weight be 0, and that way it shouldn't mess up any of the other skinning, and then I'll kind of get that going manually. So let's go ahead and add those influences. And maybe just a quick check that nothing else is acting crazy right now before Now I can see that this is, because that was probably already happening where that was affecting that. So let's see if these are doing anything yet. Okay, yeah, so I had locked their weights and put them at 0, so it shouldn't affect it at all, and I'll put these in manually. So I'm looking at this side, and I'm going to select the surface and use the paint weights tool. So from the skin menu, paint skin weights tool, options. And I see I've run out of space here, so I'm going to tap here to maximize that. And at the bottom of this list, you see all of our wing joints. And this is his left wing, so let's take a look at that. It has no weight or anything. Also, I told it to lock it, so we can unlock all those. I just selected the top one, shift selected the bottom, and then hit the lock button. So those are unlocked now, and I can change the weights. And I'm going to do this by oops. Let's close this for a minute, actually. I'm going to select the verts that I want and then just flood the weights to them. So let me go into component mode here and use my lasso select. And I'll just pick from the side the points I think should be part of that joint. And there's some question as to whether that sort of horn on the top should bend with kind of more stay with the front part or the back part. I think it should stay more with the back part of the wing. So I'm gonna select maybe those, and don't worry, we're gonna smooth this out later anyways. So I'm gonna control select those to lose those. All right, that looks okay. You can see I selected both sides, so I'm going to control select those, so those aren't part of it. Once I've done the paint skin weights tool once, it shows up down here. I'll double click on it, scroll down again, We want left wing 1, which is this one. It highlights that joint. And I'm going to use replace and a value of 1, which is the default, and flood, and that should turn white. And that means that all those points are 100% controlled by that joint for now. And now I want to carefully select everything but what I want this last joint to control on that wing. So I'm going to go into my selection tool, make sure I have right mouse click vertex here, go into the right view, and I'll do a toggle select here. So I'm holding down shift, and that way I can carefully select the new ones and deselect those, but I'm going to then control select these. So I know that I didn't select any of those twice. And then here I'll use my lasso, and now if I use control and shift, it will only add to the selection, so I don't have to worry about losing any of my selection, and maybe something like that. Okay, and then once again I will deselect this other wing. So Q for the regular selection tool, control select to deselect those. Okay, back to the paint weights tool, and make sure we have the right joint there. Scroll down, next wing down, flood. Good. Okay, and then all that's left to do is this last one. Right mouse click vertex, shift to toggle selection, control select those. So now I know I have the rest of the points. Deselect the stuff from the other wing, and paint weights tool, scroll down, the last one, flood. Let's test those out a little bit. I'm going to get my outliner back up here and scroll down a bit. And we're looking at the left wing here. Let's see how it's working right now. Okay, good. Okay, so basically it works good, but we're probably going to want to smooth that out because, if you look closely here, it's doing this weird creasing thing along there, which we can improve a little bit. And, there's no kind of smoothness here, like it moves part of this knob but not the rest. So we'll want to go ahead and smooth this out. This is a good time to save. Call this 3 and find. Alright, so now let's try smoothing it. So I'll select this object mode, select this, double click the paint tool, and I will just change this to smooth and hit flood 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Go to the next joint up. 1, 2, 3. That might be a problem. We'll see how it goes. 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's test out the movement again. See if I messed that up. Yes, I did somehow. I think it's taken some of the weights from it's put some of the weights in a weird spot. I'm not exactly sure where. That one looks okay. So what I'm going to do now is go back to that previous version before I did that smoothing and try something else. So what I'll do is go ahead on this thing, and I'm going to lock everything. So select the top one, scroll down, shift select the bottom one, hit the lock button. Now everything's locked, so none of the weights can move around. And then I'm going to unlock just these three. For start, actually, let's lock those, and then I think we want I'm not sure which one we've parented it into here. Let's see. Go into my outliner. Shift click deformation. Scroll down. I just want to see what the parent of this guy is. I'll hit the up arrow here. So I'm thinking whatever that is, chest M. So let's go into our paint weights tool and unlock chest M. Where's chest M? There we go. All right. So now when I smooth, it can only pass weights between wing 1 left and chest M, and none of the other weights will be permitted to move around. So let's see if this does a little better for me. Double click on the paint weights tool, scroll down, wing 1, and 1, 2, 3. See, that's not good, because what it's doing now is it is passing weights from here to the chest, because it's the only place we've allowed them to go. So that's part of our problem here. So what might be better is to just select this region that I want to have the weights affected for and see if it will mess that up for us. That's better. See how it's not taking weights from over here or here now? So it's only moving the weights around there. That's better. Let's keep with that method for this. So I'll select this area here, paint weights tool, and now let's lock the chest again and unlock wing 2. So it's only going to pass weights between this joint and this joint now. So smooth, we're on smooth still, flood 1, 2, 3, so it's smoothing that area out. And finally, I'll lock this one and unlock that one. Very specific now. And select just these verts, so we're only affecting this area. Paint weights tool, and make sure we have the right joint selected. This last one, and 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hopefully that wasn't too complicated to follow. Let's check this again, see if I messed it up. Yeah, nothing crazy happening there. And yeah, looking pretty reasonable. And finally this one. Okay, good. So let's save that file, save scene as. Call this 4. And the next step is, so we don't have to go through all those steps again, is we'll mirror it. So that will take all the weights from one side and pass them over to the other side. So always save before you do this, because it has the potential to mess up your weights, and it's only going to work well on a symmetrical character, which this looks like it is, which is good. Skin, mirror skin weights options. Now hit edit reset, and if you see this, YZ forms a plane, and it is across that plane that we're going to mirror, so that's YZ. And then it says from positive to negative, so you see the X points in this direction, so this is the positive side, and then that way is the negative side. So that's correct, because we weighted this one, so we went from positive to negative, mirror. So let's check out our right wing and see if that worked. And happy day. It's good. Okay. Save scene as number 5. And this will be mirrored. Okay, well that's the end of part 1 of this, which is the binding part. Part 2 is going to be creating a rig. This is part 2 of the video where I'll rig these wings. I'll make some curves. I will put them in position, parent them to each other, name them, duplicate them across, and then constrain the joints to them and parent them into the rest of the hierarchy. So for starters, let's make some curves. Create nervous primitives circle, and here's my circle I just created. And I might, this guy in a layer already. He is, so I'm just going to make that into a reference layer so I don't accidentally select anything there. And I'll hold down V for point step and middle mouse drag on this, and it's snapping to the surface still. Let's just hide that for a moment and snap it to this curve. Okay, and you know, the orientation and size, you can decide what, you know, I probably don't want it too big because I don't want it to overlap the one for the other wing. So, you know, so then I'm just gonna duplicate that and hide this again, move that, whoops, WV for point snap, middle mouse drag, snaps to that joint. And again, I can rotate it. Control D to duplicate, W for move, hold down V for point snap, middle mouse drag. Okay. So I got some curves, and let's select those and delete the history off those. Edit delete by type history, and modify freeze transformation to zero out their transforms. Okay. So we've got some control curves now. This one's a bit difficult, but I think it'll be all right. All right, I'll go ahead and name them. I'm not sure what these other ones are named. Main, FK elbow, head. I'll go ahead and name those circles. Can't be the same name as the joints, so I'll just do wing 1 L control. Maybe I'll copy that name, or maybe wing 1 control L actually. Actually, let's just do wing 1 control for now, and then wing 2 control, wing 3 control. And we can parent this one to this one and this one to that one, so I can just middle mouse drag this to here and middle mouse drag that to here, shift click here. You can see the little hierarchy I've just made. Let's duplicate that whole hierarchy, Control D, and hide this for a moment. And W for move, hold down V, middle mouse drag, snap to this. So we've done the other side. Modify prefix hierarchy's name. So this will be L underscore for left. This will be modify prefix hierarchy names, R underscore. So prefix hierarchy names, we'll just put one in front of everything in the hierarchy. All right, so we've got those little guys built. Let's do our constraints now. Gonna gonna open this up and open that up and deformation system. I mean, if I wanted to, I could make a separate set of joints for the control of these, but it seems like an extra step that's not necessary. So select this curve, select this joint using control select. I'll do a parent constrain parent, make sure maintain offset is still turned on. I believe that's the default option. Okay, and then just repeat that for each one. So select this, control select that, constrain parent, this one, that one, constrain parent, repeat for the other side, this one, that one, constrain parent, curve, joint, constrain parent, and this last one. All right, let's see if that's working so far. Nothing goes berserk, hopefully. That looks pretty good. Okay. Seems to be functioning well. All right, now just check this other side here. Up arrow. Up arrow. All right, now this has to be parented into the hierarchy, so probably this chest, I'm thinking we'll want those. Right now they're not moving with it. We want to move with that chest. So so I have that chest curve selected, and then I need to, well, select this one, child, and then the chest for parent, and then P for parent. Okay, nothing went berserk. That's good. And all right, I would call that bound and rigged. Looks like got some working wings there. Okay, save that. I'll just call that number 6, wings rigged.